Okay, question first.
Okay, so last month I did a first-time appointment to a dermatology office.
Cool.
I got that from an office manager that went from one derm to this derm. So network is worse than before. It's been slowly declining. We got an IT guy that comes in here sporadically to work on stuff. So she was able to hook me up with a first-time appointment with the doctor. We sit down, we kind of go through the same pain points that the office manager talked about. Doctor understands it. But then when I came out and I said, this is my price point per seat, she about fainted. Like, she's not used to that. So she would rather stay with this individual, may call her in a week, because his price point is different. You know, like, we have our bare minimums in terms of, like, I won't negotiate down from that number, because I was just showing her my basic plan.
What's in your basic plan?
Like AV, patch management, and you can call us from 9 to
So remote support?
Yeah.
Okay. So she had sticker shock. She's used to like the one-man shop. You're giving her at least like first form managed services.
Right.
She's like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, two approaches I usually take in those situations that happen all the time. Salespeople love saying, oh, if they had price objection, you didn't do it right. That's bullshit. There's always gonna be price objective no matter what. Yeah, we wanna limit that, but like at the end of the day, we're always gonna have price objection in people that can't afford it or think they can't afford it. There's a lot of positioning stuff you can do, but at the end of the day, there's two things that I would typically do. One, if I thought they were like a really good opportunity, I would kind of pitch a monitoring agreement. Where it's like, hey, you know what, $15 a workstation, we're gonna do AV, we're gonna do patch management. Like we're gonna, you have to have our backup in place, you have to have our firewall in place. Like there's some minimum standards you have to hit, but no remote support, no on-site support, none of the premium stuff. It's like, it's still a big jump from what she's currently paying, but it's like, oh, but now I'm with a better company. And then I would have our per hourly was cranked up a lot. So it'd be like $175 an hour. They have to buy a 10-hour block of time. Your monthly expense is like a little bit higher, but you're in a better spot and you're gonna have a responsive company. Because you're because you're on a monitoring agreement, you can call it whatever you want, your hourly is higher than our managed service, our fully managed clients, and you also have to buy a block of time. So when you call, it's gonna have increments of 15 minutes. So what happens is they would usually be in that for about a year before you can get them with the full managed services. Because what happens is they instantly realize they're in a better position, they're working better, people can call you. You treat them just like any other managed client, but they're getting billed at that high enough rate that it starts feeling pain. And then you add in some type of bonus for the managed services. Like, oh, you ready to go managed services? We're actually doing a bonus for fill in the blank. Typically within a year and 18 months, they're willing to go up to full managed services. So that's approach one. Approach two, if you just don't think like you want to deal with them, like they're like so price sensitive that you think they're going to be a pain in the ass, that's just going to have to be for you to gauge. I would just kind of put them into our ongoing marketing, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, the conversation just switched because the doctor's sitting here, office manager's there, and I gave my basic package, and now she's like talking to the office manager, like, why did you bring him here? Like, yeah, you got lunatic for this number.
Love it. Perfect. Own it. I mean, if they go, can you go cheaper? I can go more expensive.
That's what he did.
Yeah. Just like the more confident you are, the more they realize, oh, I'm the one who's wrong here. Just bring the confidence, and like they will come back. Keep them on your drip. Keep on your direct mail. Keep on your emails. Invite them to the things. They'll close eventually. All right, but speaking of that, that's actually the next video we're gonna watch, because that is a common problem, a real pain point, is they're working with someone that's just not good. And so that's kind of why we hit this video.
Would you suggest, and I'm gonna pump MSP camp for this, but at the same time, an individual MSP made a video like that with our team, or use the one you just made?
It's a good question. Videos like this are gonna be pretty expensive, and they're gonna be time consuming. So I would typically recommend working like with some type of company that kind of creates these, or as we're going to talk about the different levels, if you're spending enough on marketing because you've had a high enough ROI over time, then yes, you should 100% be doing these in-house. But if you're like lower in your kind of marketing spend and journey, you typically want to work with a provider that kind of has these ready to rock. And they're effective, like we're seeing by the stats. It's like, oh, this works, because like kind of makes sense why it works, right? Who here has seen an ad for an MSP? Like one of your competitors. Has anybody seen an ad? Okay. Was it good? No. It was horseshit, wasn't it? Yeah. It was this guy. What did he start talking about? What did he talk about? Do you remember?
It was the paint or the pieces that you were talking about the firewall.
Yeah. And then, what's funny is like people will run those ads and then they go, advertising doesn't work for MSPs. It's like, advertising like that doesn't. All right, anybody else seen an ad for an MSP?
Yeah, and usually the one we see for one of our competitors in New Jersey, they start talking technical. They say that they say the server is down because something with the firewall. They use all of these terms, like two office people talking to each other, which never would happen.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, I think it's okay to talk about like universally known things like ransomware, as long as we're understanding like what is the pain point. It's like the fear of downtime. Like it's okay to talk about some stuff, but yeah, like we don't need to get technical. Let's just talk about the pain point. All right, let's watch another one. I actually just filmed this last week.
You guys might be wondering why I called you in here tonight. Well, here's the deal. These are the goals we set out to hit this year. These are where our competitors are at today. And this is where we're at today. Can somebody please tell me what the heck is going on? Boss, my team is constantly struggling with technology issues.
Yeah, none of our systems talk to each other. I still have to email everything to the product management team. This is slowing us down.
What year is it? Where's the IT guy? You want to do it? Hello? No. It's SSL, VPN, MFA, Authenticator. What? It's NIST, it's WISP, it's dark web scanning, it's not that hard!
He's speaking only acronymation. We don't know what this means.
Yeah, he can't speak business. What do we do? Somebody get the other IT provider on the phone.
Need help aligning technology with your business vision? You shouldn't need
So everyone has that bad IT guy, and like they're kind of feeling it right now, and they're kind of over
The
it.
latest technology and AI tools can help you get there faster. In plain English.
All right, one more before we move on.
This industry is everything, right? There's tons. I could throw it against the wall. There's the flavor of the market. So when you use these videos, and let's say everybody there uses these videos. Now, everybody's seen them, look the same. Now, what differentiates us? Because if they saw mine, they saw Paco's, they saw John's, they all look the same. There's only one more thing that they can really hit us up on, right? And we all do the same thing, so it's going to be price. So how do we ensure we have that difference and not go down that path? Because there's no exclusivity.
Let me just add a layer on that. Are you referring to specifically MSP Camp videos like that, or videos like that?
MSP Camp videos or any videos from
So-
let's talk about yours specifically.
So to add on that, so we're a client for full disclosure. So we have region exclusivity within is it 30-mile radius? Yeah, so within 30-mile radius of us, no other MSP can enroll with MSP Camp as far as a leader. They have different packages, but depending on what these videos are released for, on the leader package, there's that exclusivity range, and no one in that range can join in for that specific plan. Unless I leave or we cancel, then someone else can go into that role. So that kind of helps a little bit with some of that, but I don't know if that's a scout video or not.
Yeah, these are all leaders, so these would be the locked ones. But the point, I hear the point. My point is not like what provider you're going to use to do things or anything like that. It's just like we got to get people's attention, and like the value question on like pricing, that kind of happens after we get the lead. So right now, like we just got to get the lead, and then like the how do we properly differentiate ourselves is typically happen in the sales process. Now there's like if you have a true differentiator, it's amazing for marketing. Like I know some MSPs that have 1 minute response times. 1,000,000% that should be in the marketing. But for the most part, a lot of the kind of value price discrepancy is going to be happening in the sales process. For marketing, what we want marketing to do for us is one, make that sales job, make them easier, right? Because they've seen our content, they've consumed our content, they kind of like what we're doing as a company. And then we can kind of have that price discussion after. Does that make sense? And then the difficult thing, and this is extremely difficult, which is why this problem is pervasive in the MSP space, it's super hard to have a differentiator. It is super hard to have a true differentiator for your MSP. I didn't lean on service differentiators because my team was just, they never implemented the way I wanted it to because I was just the marketing and sales guy. So I had to lean on like company and brand differentiator. We were the company doing the crazy ass videos. We were the company doing the crazy events. We were the company that were hosting that thing. Like we were the company that everybody wanted to be a part of, even if our service was the same as everybody else. So I had to lean on like brand differentiators, which is typically just easier. Think about Morgan & Morgan. Like Morgan & Morgan lawyer is the same as every lawyer probably, but they brand differentiate. Whereas in the MSP space, we just want to get a lead and then we need to service differentiate a lot of times. Service differentiators are hard, like, yeah, we're actually going to help you with AI in your business. Whoa, wow, that's an easy thing to say. But how do we back that up? Now we got to train, we have to have an AI trainer, that's an expense. Like we got to make sure we're covering that person's expense. That's a huge thing. Or we're going to respond within 10 minutes. Easy thing to say. Absolute differentiator will get us clients, but holy shit, operationally, how do we do that? Here's the caveat though. It is 1000% worth the effort and pain to get that service differentiator. Totally. It's just gonna be a pain in the ass. Like for instance, yeah, go ahead, Rick. I don't remember all of them. I actually have a podcast called Finding Your Differentiator, and we go over exactly what the differentiators where all tech were. A couple of like easy ones that really stood out in our market is we were open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. without offshore, like our people, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That was actually operationally pretty easy to do. It's like, okay, this shift starts at 7, this shift starts at 8, this shift starts at 9. And like some people wanted to come in at 9 instead of 7. We were business premium. We were the first in our market to really adopt it to a massive degree where it's like we could almost automate the technical safeguards of HIPAA with business premium. And man, when I came into the sales conversation, and no matter what problem they have, I could solve with Microsoft 365, whereas there are other companies still using Microsoft 365 for like office products and email, that made me super different. It's like, you have a server right now? And like we went to it, I'm like, what is this doing? They're like, oh, it's like our files and shit. I'm like, cool, so you're still using like a VPN? And they're like, yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Do you know why you're doing that? You know, kind of ask these questions. They're like, no, I don't know, the IT guy said. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, maybe there's like a reason they did that. But to me, that'd be kind of confusing because you probably want to work from anywhere pretty easily, right? And they're like, yeah, it's like, okay, cool. Is that happening now? They're like, no. I'm like, all right. Yeah, this is not how we would do it. Kind of what we would do is like, you're already paying for this thing called Microsoft 365. It already has these awesome things in it. And like with our agreement, not only are we going to optimize that for your business, but like, you know, your life's going to be easier. Boy, oh boy, was that a differentiator, right? But it took us being extremely competent in Microsoft 365, which was a pain in the ass. Now that's a little less of a differentiator because I think most companies do that. All right, cool.
So, and actually, we concentrate just on the local area, like a lot of people do, but in some ways, we've been able to pick up a couple of customers because they have no human contact with their current IT company.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're 10 miles away.
First of all, I love that. That is a differentiator. I love MSPs that require on-site visits monthly. I love it. If I had an MSP today, I would, every client I had, I'd require a monthly visit. Baked into the agreement, 100%. Like why? I want to clean up some cables. Like I want to just show face with my logo and bring whatever campaign we're running that month, right? Like why wouldn't we do that? But MSP's like, no, we need to be remote only, we need to be efficient, we need to lose all contact with our customers so they don't love us anymore. Then we're just like giving it to all covered, or all these large companies. Like we have to be what we're good at. All right, cool.
Gonna believe this, Bob. Good luck.
Well, what do you got there, Schmitty?
The worst I've ever seen, ever.
Oh, God! That's 16 in 1 week!
Yes.
The cabling!
Complete chaos. Computer equipment everywhere, mold on the servers.
Disgusting.
It's chaos out there.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Chaos.
Chaos.
The wires.
Ah, there's computer equipment everywhere.
Sit her down, would ya?
Yeah. Yeah, see? That's it, see? There's cables and chaos and computers everywhere.
What's your plan of attack here?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
We rip out the outdated tech, we put in the latest gear. Instant speed upgrade. Bam!
Ah, bam.
Bam!
Bam.
Bam!
But what about the open doors? It's like they've rolled out the red carpet for these other
That's where we
criminals.
bring in the big guns. They'll get it patched right up.
They'll be back to making money in no time, Schmitty.
Yeah, see, don't cry, Cap.
But how do we do it fast?
Answer's been in front of us.
At that moment, in the original editing of this video, after I wipe his tear, I lick it. It was my favorite part of the video. My wife watched and she's like, this is so good. She's like, please take the lick out. I'm like, she's like, you're already getting them. Like, you already got them hooked. You're like, now that like gets into like, you're being too weird. I'm like, all right, fair enough. All right, so sometimes you have to listen to your wife's advice. Like, okay, fine. All right, anyway.
It's the whole time.
Okay. Oh, look, there it is.
It's right there.
Your business technology looks like a crime scene.
Yeah, let the business detectives take care of the case.
Why do we do these videos? One, they're super fun to do. I mean, legitimately, like they're super fun to do. But two, they perform better than all the other types of ads we try. We try ebook downloads. I mean, those work on LinkedIn. Like they can work. Like that's why we do them. But like when it comes to Facebook and Instagram and a lot of social media stuff, like we just gotta like hook them. And it's gotta be something they care about. We can't hook them and then talk about dark web monitoring, right? We gotta hook them and say, you have that bad IT guy, you're not happy with them. Like that's what we can solve.
Another like pain point thing right here.
Yeah.
The old, why are we paying you, everything's working? Or
Yes.
why are we paying you, nothing's working?
Yes. Yeah, that is very unfortunate. And when I was moving people from break fix to managed services, one of the key things we had to make sure they understood is it is not a retainer. That's what they always said, like, well, it's only $200 a month right now. You're pitching me a $2,000 thing. Like, that's 20 hours worth of work. That's they think of it as a retainer, and like that instantly devalues it. So we just have to constantly reiterate our value in ways. There's lots of ways to do that. One way I like to do that was different types of reporting. I know we think our prospects don't care about reporting, but it's actually just we're too lazy to set up good reporting. At least I'm not saying all of us. I'm just saying in general, that's what I found. A lot of like the owner was like, well, our clients don't care about reporting. I'm like, actually, every time I've been in meetings lately, they ask about reporting. And so when we started setting up like a simple scale pad report, where it's just like, hey, this is the computers of your business, this is their age, this is the red, green, yellow, right? We started sending a security report. Like we have a full-time security specialist that like does all this badass stuff. So like, let's just make sure they know we're in the green or what we did to make them in the green. And then hyper fast response time, where it's like when there is an issue, if we respond fast, it's like how much would that have cost you if you didn't have somebody that you can call right away? Because with a break fix that you have to like find somebody, you're in trouble fast. But it's a tough one. It's a big discussion. It is just there's lots of ways to address it. It's just kind of a big one. But I would say like ongoing reporting, showing a lot of face, and just making sure they understand your value.
So are you showing like distilled reports to prospects? Like, this is, if you're our client, this is what you would receive.
It's a great question. When I was running the sales, I did not do anything like that. I think you should do it. Yeah. I didn't, but that's because I was doing the marketing, sales, and account management. So I was just like, it's just too much time type thing. But 100% that would be a good thing. Where like or even if you can get the rapid fire tools or Galactic Scan or whatever to kind of get something to show the client, that's absolutely going to help the sales process. Yeah, and on the sales, I see what you're saying. Like in the presentation, yes, we would explain like these are the types of reports that you get, and that always made them happy. Did that answer your question? Okay, cool. All right, perfect. All right, sweet. Where do they hang out? So as Ivan already said, hey, I know my people at the golf course. I'm gonna go to the golf course. Where do they hang out? We know our people. Where do they hang out? 50% of our business comes from a once-a-week podcast. Like most of y'all are probably here in the room because of a podcast, right? So we need to find where do our people hang out. If we know who they are, where they hang out, we can market to them. So when I started as an intern back in 2016 at an MSP, I ended up being the vice president there before I left last year. MSP Camp was actually my side project while I was there. With the blessing of the owner, he's now a partner in the business. It was just my side thing. We were doing all these campaigns, they were working. I just published them on a website, started a podcast. Kind of ended up working, so now like I run that full time. That's the only reason I left. I literally loved it at Alltech. They're a client still. I'm a client of theirs still. It's the best. But we were almost always the first one pitching managed services to prospects. It was a blue ocean. It was amazing. I would show up, and as long as I had the talking points, which I usually did, they would sign. I wasn't competing with anybody else. Yeah, I had to get them to convince them to go from no IT spend to a lot, but like that was actually an easier sell back then. Today, when I left in 2024, almost every single time we were taking the prospect from a current MSP. Almost every time. And if it wasn't a current MSP, it was an IT guy. So why am I saying that? We either are going to be eating lunch or we're going to be getting our lunch eaten. That's just the cold, hard truth. And if we have a whale client or we don't have employees right now or we're not marketing, attrition is inevitable. So we can't let that shit happen to us. Do we agree?
Agree.
All right, on the flip side, now that I freaked you out a little bit, most people are worried about competition. I'm glad that this room isn't, so I don't need to harp too much on this point, but we're only competing with 5% of MSPs. That's it. And so you have 100 MSPs in your market, it don't matter, you're competing with 5. So as long as you have that mentality, you can understand that like, oh, this is no big deal. The core problem, and that's why I've structured this whole workshop the way I have, the core problem is consistency. Oftentimes we've been thinking about marketing for so long that we think it has to be some behemoth. Like we think there has to be all these automations and all of these things happening for us to designate that we're doing marketing. It's just not true.